Good morning, Mars. We are doing another build video today, picking up right from where we left off last time. This is for the giveaway, so I will be carrying on with the three previous cars, which are the Leadfoot, the Corvette, and the Range Rover from left to right. We will start off with the Corvette, which was largely done last time, but I did get some interesting feedback. The first was from Earl Ware, who said a machine gun on the hood would look good, as well as some lake pipes on the side. Now, it did have lake pipes already, but they weren't apparent enough. So I 3D printed some exhaust pipes that are far more eye-catching. And yeah, they sit pretty good on there. It can still clear the surface. It can still roll. It rolls poorly, but it can still roll. And now you see me with the machine guns there. Now, the thing with these machine guns is they break the build slot limit if you use them along with the rocket launchers. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna package everything in the car so that it has the machine guns, it has the rocket launchers, and you'll see me later on coming in with, yeah, there it is. We'll come in with the air intake, which you can put onto the engine when you don't want the machine guns on the engine. You can also stack the machine guns up on top of the rocket launcher. I'll be showing that later on at the end of the video. So if you just want them double stacked, looking really big and impressive, you can also go like that. But yeah, the Corvette is now plenty modular. You can mix and match the parts I've supplied around, and you can make your own as well to attach onto the two hard points it currently has on the front and on the top of the vehicle. This is pretty much done in terms of structural, so we'll just get right on to painting that for the next video. Now moving on. Moving on to the Range Rover now. This one's pretty popular in the comment section, and I can understand why. It's a very unique vehicle. I have made a turret for it, as suggested in the comments. That's exactly where I was going with it as well. That turret is going to be magnetized into a hard point. And as mentioned by Kingman Highborn, I was trying to do a logging theme, like as they suggested, because it was a really good idea. But I couldn't quite find a ram that suited it, like a nice chainsaw looking ram. And I also wanted the claw up the top, but it wasn't quite working out. So yeah, unfortunately I had to abandon the logging theme and go with something a bit more militaristic. But that's fine. I think this turned out pretty alright, but I am not sure about this air intake. I've just put that there as a dry fit. We'll see how the comment section treats it. I'm on the fence with it. I kind of like it on, I kind of like it off. Yeah, we'll see. Let me know what you think about it. Then, moving on, we will now go on to flattening the top of this vehicle using some two-part epoxy putty. This is the kind that is really stinky. It's a little bit cheaper than green stuff, but it's also much nastier than green stuff. It dries rock hard once you get it on there. Takes about 2 hours to fully cure. Which is a lot faster than green stuff actually. And once it cures, you can sand it right down to a very smooth finish. You can see my one actually isn't mixed all that good, but it's still cured rock hard. And from there, we can then go in with the hard point, the base of the turret, which I have now modified. There it is. I have modified to have a magnet on it. So it's just a simple matter of gluing that onto the top of the vehicle, and we can put the turret onto the top of that. Now the turret itself is a grenade launcher. I'll put links in the STL file, the master STL file down in the description. And it's meant to be like bolt straight, but I've made it so it's a little bit splayed out to the side, a little bit asymmetrical, just because the rest of the vehicles is already pretty bolt straight. So that's just a bit of contrast there. And now I'm setting up the ram. So this is the way I magnetize things with like multiple magnet points. So first I'll lay down the big magnets. I've already laid down the big 3mm magnets in there. I've drilled them in, I've super glued them in. And those two 2mm magnets on top, they're just floating on there. They're just currently stuck to the magnets with magnetism. So what I'm gonna do is I put 2 blobs of green stuff on the ram, and then I rest it on top of the little magnet so that the green stuff is resting and sticking onto the little magnets. And then we'll let that cure in the position we want it to be in. And as that cures in the position that we want it to be in, it will end up with a pretty level bit, pretty much. Because if you just drill into either side and then hope they line up, you probably won't get a connection that lines up, especially with multiple magnets. So I find this is the easiest way to line up something you're trying to connect at multiple points. I had to re-record a big bit there because a plane flew overhead. I've also done up the interior of the Range Rover using a extra tire that did not print out too nice, a jerry can, and some bits from a Tamiya weapon sprue. So that is going to be the final structure. Well, not quite final, I haven't done the windows yet. As you can see, it has two hard points, one on the top of the vehicle and one on the ram. The top of the vehicle one should be plenty easy to make a weapon for. The ram will be a little bit more complicated, if you ever end up getting this vehicle, that is. We'll see how that plays out on the votation video. Moving on to the Leadfoot now, we'll start with a comment from AdSomeHappy saying it's a little bit more boring compared to the other cars, and that is totally fine. I had left off at a point where I had not glued things onto it, and now I am about to glue a lot more things onto it. We'll start off with the suspension, which you see here in the interior. It is a spring model that I have sized down a fair bit, so that it is Hot Wheels scale. You see it now from the exterior, and it just fills up the gaps in the car's visuals there. You'll also see the gills, which were suggested. I did not go in with a Dremel. It was a really good idea, but I am not confident enough in my Dremel skills. So I just 3D printed a very specific piece that fit the bill exactly. They look like nail clippings. They are not nail clippings. They are 3D printed. I think they're rear guards. But now we go to the fins, which will reinforce the shark aesthetic even further. The fins are made out of drone bits. They are cosmetic drone bits, which I have shaved off the attachment points, so they stop at the base of the fin instead. That makes them blend with the car a little bit better. We attach them with super glue, then we will come in with green stuff to close the gap. That's a little bit lumpy on the side there, but that is fine because we are about to start sanding it down. Now, green stuff is sandable. That's one of the things that makes it real good. I am currently using 400 grit here, which should be fine for our purposes. I don't need it to be super smooth. I don't actually know what it'll look like once I spray over it, but we will find out next video, probably. Well, I'll find out in a couple weeks. Okay, so now we go for the ram. This was a comment requested feature, and I do really like the idea, so I went about constructing a shark underbite. Not quite a shark mouth, not quite a shark jaw, just the suggestion of a shark's underbite in particular. The layered teeth are pretty important to pulling off that look, I think. And I do that using plastic hard and green stuff, because this is something that is better off made from scratch rather than 3D printed, I think. I have also chopped off the bit of the Leadfoot's undercarriage there, which has its name on make on it, just so it has that little bit of itself remaining in the build. And that is most of what I have done this week. Oh, one final note for the Leadfoot, you'll notice it doesn't actually have weapons, so I printed out this harpoon gun for it, link in the STL file, which will give you the option to run it with a harpoon, either turreted or front mounted. Going forward, we will be doing one more video in this giveaway series, and it will be the painting and the votation video. So I'll paint the cars, you'll get a look at their final looks, and then you'll be able to vote on that same video. Now, I won't be doing like the most popular car gets given away. What I'm gonna do is you just vote with your car preference, and then I'll just run through all the votes with the car names. I'll have way more specific details on the day. Now, I still don't know what to paint these things. I do have an inkling, especially with the Corvette, because there has been a very good suggestion for the paint job on the Corvette. The sharks, oh, here we are, look, I'm putting the machine gun on top of the rocket launcher. That's one of the loadout options for the Corvette. But yeah, the shark might get painted up looking like a shark, like an organic blue and white-bellied great white shark. This Range Rover, I have no idea, to be honest. I might paint it metallic, just bare metal all the way down, do some rust streaking. Let me know in the comments what you think would look good. Also, about that air intake, I'm really on the fence about that air intake. So yes, this is this week's giveaway video, video 1 of 2. And I will be wrapping up on the next one that will involve the votations. And also we have reached 200 subscribers. Look at that. We're already almost halfway to 300 actually. So we will be doing another round of this right after I mail out the winner. So yeah, look forward to that. Next week I will be doing another Cement City episode. So we will not be doing any build videos there. I'm gonna spend the whole week filming stage 2 of week 5 of Cement City. One final thing before I go. This entire giveaway format was the idea of Jay's Diecast Creations. He has been mad supportive of the channel, and I would like to do the same in return. So if you head over, like and subscribe, you might learn a thing or two about diecast customs and also actual insights from a lifelong motorsports fan. Personally, I am more into the aesthetic of cars rather than motorsport itself, but Jay's videos have had me considering going to one of the local demolition derbies, because those look really fun. But yep, that's it. One more video wrapped up. See you guys next time.